So, my name is 𝗦𝘁cie𝗂𝗱𝗲𝗁. I'm a third-year defensive tackle for the McMaster Marauders football team. I'm from London, Ontario, and I'm Chinese Canadian. The big thing for me with football was my dad. When my dad moved here from Hong Kong, as a foreign student coming to a new country, it was hard for him to fit in, and one of the first things that he found as a sport was football, and that's something he played throughout high school and continued to enjoy to this day. So, coming up, I was always around the game of football. I was always learning about football, always, following my dad around, learning about the NFL, CFL, and college, and that kind of inspired me to become a football player and pursue this passion. My dad is somebody who I look up to, so the fact that I'm able to do this sport at the highest level, I feel like, it's something that makes him proud, and that makes me happy. I think my role with football has been an interesting one. Obviously, as somebody who's of API heritage, specifically Chinese heritage, we're not always necessarily thought of as, the most big or physical group of people. And I think a lot of times that stereotype can negatively affect how people perceive those of Oriental or Asian descent when they come to playing a physical game like football. So throughout my life, it's always kind of been, oh, you sure you want to play football? Are you sure you don't want to play another sport? You sure you don't want to play a sport that maybe, you might fit better into? But throughout my time, I've kind of realized that given my physical gifts, football is the sport for me, and it's allowed me to kind of, go beyond that barrier of what sports I should or shouldn't be able to play and pursue a sport that I think is the perfect one for me. I think the biggest thing for me is just almost a sense of disbelief that somebody of, my heritage or my background would be able to be this successful in a sport like this. I wouldn't necessarily say there's ever been an issue where I've had a coach or another teammate or something to that effect that has come up to me and said, you can't play football because you're Chinese, you can't play football because you're Asian. But I think it's just the general stigmatism that being of Asian descent means that I shouldn't be able to play a sport like this. And by me being at this level and pursuing the highest level of football possible, it kind of shows that those stigmatisms aren't true.